Hello, it's James here. Look at this, I've got myself a welder. Lincoln Electric have sent me an Invertec 150S, which is a stick welder, also upgradable to a TIG welder, so thanks to Lincoln Electric, and they sent me all the gear. Look at all this, and I've got gloves and everything, so I can start straight away. But first of all, we need to find somewhere to do welding, and you'd think maybe a workshop's a good place for welding. But actually, this isn't a workshop. It's a fake workshop that I made, so I had somewhere to do workshop videos. So yeah, actually it's in one end of my lounge. So yeah, there's all the droids and the Lego skateboard. There's my sofa, that's my telly over there, and the curtains and the window. So a few problems there. We're gonna have to come up with another solution, I think, which is probably getting an actual shed. Actually got the shed sent to me as well by Mano DIY and Garden Supplies. Have a look at the link in the description if you want to find out which one it is. So here we are in the shed. It's just the right size for all those jobs that need to be done that are messy, like welding, grinding, things like that. I'm still going to be using the other fake shed to do CNC and assembly and general workshop stuff. So this is my welding setup. This is a sheet of 3mm steel. I'm not really sure how many sparks are going to come off, and I don't want to set fire to everything. Eventually I might build up the sides to make a welding half if it's really bad, but for now that'll do. So I've got a clamp down here, and I've got some steel that I'm going to practice welding on, so we need to cut a bit off that first. Also thanks to Ryobi for sending me a load of power tools, look at these. So we've got our workpiece in the vise here, we've got the earth clamp that goes to the negative of the welder, and we've got the welding electrode, which is fitted in here, and that is a flux covered rod, and these came from Lincoln Electric as well. There's several different sizes, and of course we strike an arc, and that's how we weld onto the workpiece. So we've got various modes. We've got a TIG mode as well if we had a TIG torch, but we've got basically, I think it's smooth and crisp for different types of welding. Has the power light, and we've got a knob here for the current, so it's pretty basic. These welding rods do actually have the rating on, so they're 2.5mm, it says 70 to 90 amps. So we'll turn it there somewhere. I'm only welding onto a bit of box, which is about 1.5 or possibly 2mm box. We're just going to practice striking an arc to start with, and we'll see how that goes. Right, so I've got my welding tunic on, I've got my gloves, and I've got my fancy welding helmet, which has got one of those auto-darkening screens on. And I'm in a position here where I can brace my elbow against the worktop here. I've been watching quite a few other YouTube videos, so hopefully I can strike an arc, and we're just going to practice that and see what happens. First time ever. So nothing happens because the rod is covered in flux, which is probably an insulator, so I've just ground off the end with an angle grinder, so I've actually got the metal there. That might conduct electricity. Now we might be to strike an arc. Well, that's the first weld ever. It's a mess. I think I've got too much power actually. The end of my rod is burnt out and doesn't conduct electricity anymore, so probably adjust some settings and give it another go. Well, that's number 2. Not sure what to say about that really, but I'm just going to carry on going. Well, I turned down the power a bit more. It's pretty hard to see what you're doing through that welding visor, so I might have to look at the visor settings, but yeah, obviously it's quite blobby and nasty, but I'm pretty sure the metal's stuck. I'll just ground that back to see what's actually in there, and you know, it's definitely stuck to the metal. The weld's welded, it's just a bit of a wiggly mess and a bit splattery. those are the latest results. That one I haven't ground back, and these I have. So I mean the weld is sticking okay. I am finding I'm cutting holes in the end of the piece though when I get to the end, which probably means the power's too high. So I'm experimenting with turning that down to around 60 because it's only quite thin steel. But you know, the welds are all right, I suppose. They're not falling to bits, there's no holes in them and stuff like that. So I might try welding 2 bits of steel together. Right, so I've just set that up with some clamps. We're going to do a couple of tacks on each side and then we'll try and weld it on properly. So I've tacked that on each side. It's pretty nasty. I'm down to about 40 amps now, so I don't burn through the end of that tube. But at least that's held in place, and now I can try and weld around the other 2 sides. Well, it's definitely a weld. I mean, it seems functional. I've ground it back a bit there, obviously. I mean, the pieces are attached together. It's a bit messy, there's a few holes in it, but let's see how strong it is. Well, that second go, I've ground them back a lot to see what's in there, to check there's no holes. And that's not looking too bad. These ones aren't quite so good. I don't know if you can just see that. But it looks like the weld is definitely more of a weld. Unfortunately, in the back there's a massive hole. So I do need to practice quite a bit more. But I think those are probably functional, although they're not very pretty. So I did a couple of extra test welds, this one and these, and then I welded this on, and I did all that using a 3.5mm welding rod instead of 2.5, and that seems a lot more forgiving because basically it doesn't get eaten up so quickly, so it's easier to control the flow rate. So obviously I've got a lot more practice to do. It's the first time I've literally ever turned a welder on, so I'm not too unhappy with what I've done there. At least they feel pretty strong. I could probably use them for something practical, but they don't look very pretty. My later welds I'm a bit happier with that thicker rod, so it looks like the secret is to keep feeding that rod in and making that weld pull and getting the power settings just right. As soon as you back off or the rod burns back, then it makes a really big arc and just burns holes, and that's what these are, where I turn the power up with that thicker rod. So this will be my test piece. I've got some more testing to do. I'm not going to bore you with me learning, but I do have some projects coming up that need welding. I guess if I want to make these really strong on go-karts or something, I'd probably weld a corner piece in. Possibly I could screw it in with self-tappers, couldn't I, and then weld over it. I guess that's cheating, really. But anyway, we've got a lot of uses for that, as well as the CNC machine, all these other new tools. There's lots of exciting stuff coming up in the channel. So thanks again to Lincoln Electric for the welder, Mano for the shed, and Ryobi for all those other tools. Alright, that's all for now.